to all our race fans, we are looking forward to an incredible race here tonight. However, at the moment, we are currently not loaded into the iRacing session as it just went up. This is the ASC Services Supply 200 live on the Fireball Talks NASCAR YouTube channel, and the first race in the Highline Racing League ASC Services Supply Incorporated Premier Series, a new title sponsor for a new season and 80 laps of action, send us into our 15th season and 12 years of incredible racing in this incredible league. And we are back once again. Back is the voice, David Kreutz, back again on the top of the box, and we are incredibly excited as it looks like a sea of drivers. Looks like over 30 already registered in tonight's event, and it will be a fun one to watch. That is for certain. Incredible group of incredibly talented drivers as we get this one started. Once again, we have a total of about 80 laps to get this one. It could be just a bit more, of course, as a result of cautions, overtime finishes, and the like. So we could see a bit more action as the race goes on. That is to be determined. As is right now, though, we're looking forward to a great race of 80 laps, and that will be quite a lot of action. I believe that's going to come down to about 225 miles. Maybe I'm a bit wrong on that one, but as it stands, 2.5 miles lap after lap, and a total of 80 to get it done. So it will be, in fact, 200 miles, pending, of course, any extensions. 200 miles to send us in. So Services Supply 200, hey, it's that name for a reason. And ASC Services and Supply stepping in as our title sponsor as we get things started here tonight. We just haven't joined in just yet. So as we get started, we're going to be loading into our session, and then we will get things going. Looks like session extending just a bit. Qualifying was last week in the duels. If you want to watch qualifying back, you can. But the moral of the story, Matthew Rodriguez comes home as the top scorer in qualifying, winning the first duel, and that will put him on the pole position to start this season off. And we talked to him. He seemed a bit shocked that he even got the pole after that victory, and it looks like it wasn't really fully sunken in until he realized it, and we told him. And starting up front, it can be a bit dangerous at a super speedway, so that is certainly something to be noted. As the race goes on, a guy like Rodriguez, while he is up front, certainly knowing he could be in jeopardy as a result. So it is a balancing act here at Daytona as Scott Wheeler, your last season's champion, is on the track. Let's take a look at the guys who are up on the circuit here. We are live and getting ready to do it here at Daytona. 200 miles, an incredible bunch of drivers to set apart for the remainder of the field here. The 34, Chad Winstead there, as the 18 currently of Ty Smith, top of the chart. Ryan Potter there as well, and the majority of the field still loading in. And we're going to take it to a quick intermission. It appears actually we won't have to take it to intermission as we will close up the timing and scoring chart. Scott Wheeler second on the board as he is in a bit of a pack with the all-time winningest leader in Scott Zellner. And Zellner, one hell of a driver in this league, getting his 10th and 11th wins in it, and an incredibly talented field where 10 wins means an awful lot. Someone's going to pop up their apologies for the quick interruption, but either way, Wheeler, one of the guys to watch here. As you can see, Ty Smith on the move as well. Ryan Potter there as we get the proper numbers loaded into your session. An incredible group of drivers here at Daytona International Speedway, here to go at it for the first time in the points-paying season. We are looking forward to it dearly. Ty Smith, top of the board as it stands. And from there on out, we got guys such as Scott Wheeler, Ryan Potter, and a multitude of other guys leading off an incredible group of what appears to be now a total of 30-odd drivers ready to do battle, as we have about 35 in the session for now. Still more to come. We will see if they are, as qualifying had a group of about 30 itself. And up to 43 drivers eligible to get it done. But the guys who are not qualified will start in the back of the field. So if you were not part of the duels, and a lot of these guys were, you will be starting at the back no matter what. Even if your car is the fastest, even if you set a single car lap down and you would have been the fastest, theoretically, theories, they're not going to be applied right now. It's all about what you can do here and now and what you can prove to the field. As Ryan Potter, third on the board, and the first time we've seen him on this channel, the driver of the 99 machine making his move, as Scott Zellner there as well, and Zellner on a tear, and he is currently fourth on the charts. Austin Bloom is in fifth, Adam Bozzi is in sixth, and these guys up front proving why they're up front for a reason. Bozzi looks to be off the track, as a matter of fact. as Austin Bloom gonna pass by his pit stall. Jason Harris with a multi-car pack here with 6 minutes remaining in practice before we get it started. And the green flag time is 8:40 Eastern. We will not have any qualifying, and it's going to be 9:40 Eastern. As a matter of fact, things are going to get pushed back just an hour or so, as Alan Kuhlman, looking to be part-time this season. I had a talk with him earlier on, part-time after an incredible full-time run last season. Let's take a ride on board for just a quick moment and see how it is. The sights and the sounds of one of these NASCAR Next-Gen machines. As you can see, the driver coming going to go right around there, and he's not going to be able to hold on to that one at all. Either way, it's all good. Able to keep it rolling, and he will keep it on the racing surface. Ty Smith on him as well. Smith right now trying to keep himself in a focus with a group of guys. Very intense. Scott Wheeler there in the 97 going to be down to the infield grass. Ryan Potter in the mix himself. And these guys up front just keeping themselves in the motion and trying to keep a rhythm, as a rhythm here at Daytona is especially important. If you don't have a rhythm, you won't be able to keep up and keep the pace. Well, that's incredibly important. If you're not able to keep pace, you're not able to keep a chance at the victory. As right now, Jason Harris in front of Chad Winstead. Taylor Morrissey on pit road right now. Scott McCartis there as well. Toby Wedgwood in the 52 machine. It looks like an all-blank driver there, and a few all-blank drivers right now, as some guys just not having paint schemes loaded in on the night. Not sure what's going on there, as it could be Robert Kenny, but Kenny now on pit road. Colton Gardner there as well. Matthew Rodriguez in the mix, and with 4 minutes remaining on the board here, guys like Dylan Body on their way, and Body currently on pit road right now is Justin Gibbs making his way through in the number 93 machine, and Gibbs, we're seeing him here for the first time as Ty Smith top of the board. And right now, Gibbs going to be rushing alongside the driver of the 72 machine, and that 72, well, it's who else but Tyler Rush, as he's right there, and right behind him, it will be the 5 machine of Dylan Clark, and Clark there for the first time. We got a few debutants, but a lot of returning drivers for the 15th season, and any one of the guys in this field have a chance at getting that victory. And whether or not they get it, well, we will see a lot of opportunity as this race goes on. And we will load up the proper cameras, as it looks like they do not happen to be on right now. iRacing's camera services, some are better, some are worse, and we will get the best on the business here, as we have TrackCams22.com as a proud associate of our channel, and they are the best in the business, and that is for certain. As the 72 machine of Tyler Rush is there, Jeff Morash is as well, and Morash going to come down on pit road as the 54 machine in as well, and that is Kenny Brooks, as Terry Brooks still waiting to get back out on the circuit. James McKee there in the number 90 machine, a refresh look for the SB Designs 9, and it looks like a few guys have refreshed paints on the spot there, and that is the 43 machine, and the 43 looking nice in its first run with that new paint scheme. Andrew Baker with a brand new look to start this season off, and it's a nice one, as he will get it in a much different fashion. And how about that for the driver of number 43? Going to move down to the back straightaway, and now they're going to exit the back straightaway as Toby Wedgwood, the Monster 52 on pit road. James McKee there, Justin Gibbs in the 93, rolling alongside the 5 and the 72 as Casey Heschel going to come down the stripe this time by, and he's going to be a multi-car pack. It appears he is with Alan Kuhlman, and it looks like that is going to be Roberto Ramirez there as well. Ramirez, a 2-time winner last season, a road course ace, had a lot of great chances, got it done at Sonoma in dominant fashion, a 1-hour timed event, and every race here about 1 hour long, and these guys are great, very disciplined drivers. So when it comes down to cautions, you won't see all too many, with only, well, no fast repairs. You have to race smart and race quick at the same time if you want to compete here, and that is evident no matter when. These guys will go racing. 1 minute and 45 seconds remain before we head to the grid for tonight's event. And how about the show that we've been put on here? A lot of talented drivers. Jeff Morash on his way. He's going to be Kenny and Terry Brooks, both on pit road. The 88 of Jason Harris, a number switch from the 8 going to be from the 7, as a matter of fact, to the 88, as Scott Wheeler gaining in on the 93. Ryan Potter on pit road. Scott Zellner there. Austin Bloom with the Oreo 3. A little bit of a refreshed look as Kendall Kerr with the 21 machine. All looking different after an incredible points run last season. A different look chasing a championship, the 21 machine is, as it looks like a few drivers still loading in. Connor Holden, Chance Duckworth, and Holden and Duckworth both on pit road as the 81 and 28 are waiting for this race to get underway. Daytona, you don't need all too much practice. If you're able to run well, you're just able to run well. It sometimes comes as a given. As Scott Wheeler goes down into the grass, they're going to take it all the way down the front straightaway. And it looks like about a minute remaining here in practice. Caleb Morrissey going to be there with Corey Blevins. And Morrissey in his signature 6 once again. And a sea of bright colors on timing and scoring here. You can see the 13 is on the move with the 6 as well. And Morrissey had a great run in qualifying. Going to be starting up in the front 2 rows. As Corey Blevins going to have to catch up to get there. And still a chance for everyone here. Robert Kenny on pit road. Brad Crest going to go on pit road as well. And with 17 seconds remaining, guys returning. DJ Stagner, the 64 there. And Tyler Rush going to be in the mix as well. But it looks like when it all comes down to it, the fastest man in practice is Ty Smith in the 18. And that is all she wrote. Practice is over. And we are heading to the race. Qualifying, it's already happened, and that is it. So let's read off your starting grid as the duels set the pace and set the field for tonight's event, the Services and Supply 200 miles for the sea of drivers. And it looks like a total of about 30 odd drivers. It should be up to about 35 as we get our timing loaded in to see the exact number. It is a total of, looks like about 35. So let's read off your starting grid for tonight's event as everyone's getting loaded in already. The grid cam on its way. No drivers you could see just yet, as it looks like one driver in qualifying still on the move. As single file, a good majority of this field will be Matthew Rodriguez, one of the few out there, although I don't believe there is a reason for that to be the case, as the duels should have set the grid. We will see if this is a mistake or this is just a matter of the circumstance. Qualifying, single car is out, although the duels did set the pace. And Rodriguez is out up front. And he will be back on his way. Position number 1, Matthew Rodriguez already has it locked in for the starting grid of tonight's event. However, it does not appear that is being registered, and we will open up the starting grid to just make a quick peek and see whether or not that is the case. And that is not. It is all reset, and Matthew Rodriguez will have to go out there and get his top spot in qualifying again. And this could be a server mess up, and iRacing is... it is possible that it happened, and it looks like the duel is not being validated when it comes to qualifying. Matthew Rodriguez is out on the track right now trying to get that in, and we will see why that is the case in just a few moments' time. Not a lot of times we deal with having qualifying, but now it looks like qualifying in a single car format, it is going, and Rodriguez, one of the only drivers who is on the track. Dylan Clark, he looks like he's on pit road, but he's certainly not racing. So Rodriguez in the first spot in qualifying is still going as if he has to earn anything more. He's already top of the board, and we will see how it all plays out and how the grid lines up, although I do believe it might just be altered as a result of Rodriguez going down onto the front of the field, and Matthew Rodriguez grabs pole again, although he already had it for about a week's long. And it looks like the weak length advantage he had might just be going astray. And you can see the race day results here. And this will show you the situation at hand. The driver of the 97 machine on the outside front row. But it will be Matthew Rodriguez in his 51 at the top of the board, no matter how this all shakes down. And he should be at the top. Lawrence Desweski Jr. coming into the chat. Let's go Morrissey, number 6 machine. And Morrissey starting up front. 2 stages, lap 20, lap 40, and no stage breaks a day into night race. And when we get to the night, it will be an incredible showdown as Dalton Beer having a fan and swish. And we will see whether or not the driver of the 38 is able to hold on. As you can see, day tonight, live on FTN, and it's the front row of Rodriguez and Scott Wheeler. Although Rodriguez going out right now, the only driver to take a lap or 2 in qualifying. And that might change it up. We will see. Qualifying is over, and still top of the board, it would be Rodriguez. no matter what. And let's get a word with the driver in that number 51 machine, because certainly going to be top of the charts no matter how it cranks out. And how it turns out, man up front is the man to beat so far, and it is Matthew Rodriguez. 1 minute 34 seconds remain on the charts, and it looks like the starting grid going to be shuffled up as Casey Heschel now going to be out on the track, and it looks like Dylan Petit there as well. A few guys on pit road in single car qualifying, but since the duels happen, single car qualifying should be rendered practically irrelevant. The 31 machine will be starting up front as well, but it looks like now these guys are just waiting for the show to get back on the road here. And we will see a day to night race here at Daytona. The sun is already setting as we wait for things to get started, and still just a bit of time. The 31 is going to be starting up front, and it looks like it's going to be a driver on the track right now who is not going to be starting up front right behind him there, and it is going to be Chance Duckworth. Duckworth not able to make a run there in the duels as far as we recall, and looks like now everyone is off of the track, and we will see how the qualifying grid is altered, as the duels last week should put Matthew Rodriguez in the pole position and the 97 of Scott Wheeler Jr. in second. We might have guys reshuffle and try to get themselves back in this spot, but single car qualifying, Rodriguez puts it on the top of the board with a 50.202, but 22 seconds remain before the race really gets on its way, and Duckworth, the only driver as it stands to be on pit road. And the World Center Racing Daytona International Speedway qualifying is almost over, and this race is going to get geared up very, very soon. An incredible race we are getting ready for, and the hype, it is real. Certainly one of the best bunches of drivers this series has ever had. Its 15th season and anniversary year with a new title sponsor, and things are getting excited as James McKee goes on the track right now. That will extend the qualifying timer up 1 minute. We will wait and see. Although it looks like we still are not going to have anyone besides Rodriguez go out for single car qualifying here. We are getting excited. A lot of Caleb Morrissey fans in the chat, Dalton Beer fans. If anyone wants to chat, be sure to leave a subscription to the channel. You'll be able to chat whenever, wherever, whatever stream we're doing. And if you got a favorite driver in any series, be sure to support them. Shower them with some love here. They all love watching these streams back, and it is always a great experience to be here live on the Fireball Talks NASCAR YouTube channel, the place to be for broadcasts online, as next Thursday going to be a special presentation, as well as we are taking an off week in the Highline Racing League. But these guys ready to put on a show like no other. There's no league but like the Highline Racing League, and the ASC Services Supplies Premier Series going to be one to watch as well. Big shout out to ASC for hopping on board this season, and they are the sponsors of this race as well. And here we go. Single car qualifying is over. Let's see if the grid lines up, and it looks like it will line up the way it should be. The duels do in fact determine the way these guys line up. Qualifying still happened for the guys who needed it, but it looks like nobody going to need it, and 34 drivers, that is the total here at Daytona, as it looks like Chase Hager going to come in for Dalton Beer as well, and we have the fans of the driver of the number 38 coming in, and the Spirit Airlines 38, that is indeed the driver and the drive of the man Wiz Dalton Beer, as we look at the entirety of this field. Get a whole zoomed in look. Kenny Brooks going to be there as well, Toby Wedgwood in the mix, and Dalton in 30th spot right now. He will be the final driver that renders the top-down view of the grid. And here we go. Your starting grid for tonight's event. Matthew Rodriguez, top of the board. And this is how it stands out. He's the only driver to put a single-file lap in, but everyone else qualified through the duels. DJ Stagner in second and James McKee in third. Kendall Kerr in third. Looks like now going to be down to fourth, and Scott Wheeler in fifth, Scott Selner sixth, then Adam Bozzi seventh, Casey Heschel in eighth, and Brad Crescent ninth with Dylan Petit in 10th, and then Roberto Ramirez in 11th with Dylan Clark in 12th, Chad Winstead 13th, Ty Smith in 14th, and Alan coming in 15th with Caleb Morrissey in position number 16, and Connor Holden in 17th, Corey Blevins in 18th. And as you can see right now, everyone is shuffling up, as this is not the proper qualifying lineup. And Go Boats, the number 93 machine, 93 Puggy coming into the chat there. And thank you for stopping by. Greatly appreciate the support, as everyone now is shuffled up. And it is a surprising situation here on pit road. As everyone tries to figure out what's going on, you can see everyone's being ordered to get back into the proper line here. and this is unprecedented. And you could see guys just waiting as Scott Wheeler already on his way, so we might just have a slightly extended wait to the green flag. There's 80 laps to do it here at Daytona, and we are not properly set up for this race. Rodriguez actually is the only driver not on the grid just yet, and that is a shocker. Set down a single car qualifying lap, but we do not see him on the grid at all. DJ Stagner now going out, and it looks like everyone's still lining up here. A bit of confusion. And still, guys are going to be given the cue to go at specific times. Ryan Potter there, and it looks like he's got Robert Kenny still waiting. As everyone going at specific times, waiting to get on their way. It should be about an extra lap and a half here before we get the show on the road. Matthew Rodriguez is not going to make the start, it looks like. And we are not sure why that is the case. He's the only driver who's not being loaded up on the screen, and that certainly means that something is wrong on his end. As DJ Stagner now on the way, Scott Wheeler going to be leading the field here as everyone gets shuffled back up. And when we get back to the show, it's going to be a great one as everyone gets through the confusion, gets set for an incredible night of action. 80 laps to kick off the 15th season of the Highline Racing League. 12 years of racing action since 2011. And what a history it has been. As last season's champion, Scott Wheeler back in front of the field. Rodriguez not on the track. DJ Stagner looks to be way far back now. As now, Morrissey, the teammate of the driver of the 97, there as well. And one lap to green. The field is charging through. Chad Winstead, the number 34 machine, switching numbers this season with Valvoline on the hood. A tribute to both his father and Mark Martin. And a touching tribute indeed as the 34 looking forward to chasing more wins. Got himself quite a few last season. Actually able to get his maiden win, I believe. He's one of those guys to watch. A lot of potential with these next gens. As Scott Wheeler, the man to beat now. Rodriguez not on the track. It's a 97 will be top of the board here at Daytona.
Hang on, we're not going green, not going green.
And the 97 with one shot to get it done, as we still have 2 laps till green. Guys still catching up. Colton Gardner going to get himself in situation, as it looks like Chance Duckworth going to miss the start, and still Andrew Baker there as well. We might be given a grace period, an early caution to get these guys shoveled up, but still guys not there where they should be, as Kenny Brooks going to be in the back of the pack. Scott McDarris, Dylan Body, Toby Wedgwood, and Body should actually be at the front of the pack here. He is gaining time as we speak, so he should be able to shuffle himself back up to the front, as he did compete in the duels and qualifying, a crucial part of this race. James McKee getting up there as well. And Scott Wheeler going to lead them down to the stripe one last time under yellow, and then we should be good to go here at Daytona. And the green flag going to wave next time by. The flagman already has the green in his hand. It's all about when we take it from here on out. Wheeler going to be side by side with the 49 machine, Casey Heschel, getting promoted to provisional pole position. Basically, pole position going to be practical pole to say the least, and the 49 with that spot, and he gets pretty lucky to say the least. He was not going to be in that spot beforehand. Rodriguez, however, is not here, up in the front of the pack. And as a result, it looks like the 49 going to be able to come out with the spot to be in. And the 49 of Heschel side by side with the man who finished first in the second duel. And that is Scott Wheeler Jr. Wheels now got himself up front, has a shot to make it happen. And every one of these drivers, a total of 34 as a matter of fact, have the opportunity to get this race a victory, as we get a little bit of a closer cam on the front of the field. These guys up front, the ones to watch. Nobody else has the potential up here that these guys do have. And while it is the case, anyone can win at Daytona, but starting up front is a big advantage with a competitive field like this. However, I do expect, it's the prediction based on the duels, that these guys will ride around for the first 20 or 40 laps, collect the stage points if they need to. That will be all they write until the second half of the race comes into play. It's all about being conservative when you need to be and being aggressive when you need to be, and these guys know it. And Scott Wheeler going to be there with 49 of Casey Heschel, leading the field down to the green flag for the first time tonight. And the pace car Gonna dive in, and it does. 15 seasons of incredible racing, ready to kick off the 15th. Scott Wheeler, last season's champion, there with Casey Heschel, double file, they're getting rolling. This is green on the Services Supply 200. Let's go racing, led by the 97. And Wheeler already down up front. And as the front of the field gets itself situated, out in front by a long shot already, it's the first 5-10 guys with a major advantage. And everyone here able to hold on, just keeping themselves intact. The 97, the 6, and the 49 able to hold on for now. Wheeler with Morrissey, and they are keeping it calm, keeping it consistent. The first lap of 80 is underway here in the Highliner Racing League, and we are moving. They are single file throughout the first majority of the segments. It looks like it's going to be the first 5-6 guys. The first segment leading the way as Wheeler coming down the line will be the race leader at the stripe. Nobody on his level thus far. It's going to be the 97 leading the way with the majority of the field still in the back, and you can see every one of them. They all roll on, and the 6 machine watching and waiting as he gets down to the back straightaway this time by, and they all roll once more. Guys out front with a clear advantage over the remainder of the field. Coming down the back straightaway, everyone going to be able to rush down the back stretch. Everyone single file. Some guys on the outside trying to make it happen. Dylan Body there. Dalton Beer there as well. And they all keep it rolling. Down to the stripe once again. They will be only a few on the outside, but many on the inside, led still by the man that is the 97, and the 97 indeed on a tear. Caleb Morris here right behind him, and teamwork making the dream work as they lead the second lap that time by, on to lap 3 of 80. And the 49 machine, Casey Heschel able to hold on quite nicely. It looks like Matthew Rodriguez not in this event, and he was the pole sitter. Actually, now he's going to be about 15 seconds off in the 33rd spot from top of the board down to the bottom. And it looks like something happened there for the driver of the 51, and he did get something going on as soon as the race began, and he is able to make it. And he just tried to secure it with the top spot in qualifying to perhaps secure his bid to stay out in front. And unfortunately, it did not work out. Tried to stall for time, not going to be able to have it. And unfortunately, Rodriguez down to the back of the pack. Double file now. It's going to be Brad Kress with Casey Heschel and Dylan Petit, and these boys are moving. They go down to the line once again. Double file, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, and the 97 still leading with Caleb Morrissey. Morrissey holding on quite nicely, and it looks like Brad Kress there as well. Dylan Petit, Dylan Clark, Dylan Body, and the Dylans all on a move, and they're 5, 6, 7 right now. Petit, Clark, Body, and they're all spelled differently. And how about that? Let's take a quick look at it because that's quite impressive. The first time they've all raced together. Dylan Clark, Dylan Petit, and Dylan Body, and they're all within a car length of one another. How about that? The Waffle House 26 is going to be the bookend of the 3 Dylans, and they are all oh so close. How about it for all 3 of them? Scott Wheeler still leading the way right now as they come down to the stripe, and you can see on the static camera they're going to rush right by, and the power being put down at about 186 miles an hour for Wheeler, but about 190 miles an hour for Morrissey. Morrissey pushing his teammate quite well now on to the 5th lap of 80, this time by 5 in, 80 total. And they've all held on nicely. The first stage is going to be 20 laps in, so you want to hold on for that if you want to get those extra stage points to keep yourself perhaps in the championship conversation from an early running point. And if you get those stage points and you do perhaps wreck out of this event, well, you're going to have a cushion to fall on. And having that cushion is especially important as the race goes on. There are most likely going to be a few wrecks as the night goes through. And you see there's a second pack already forming. Chad Winstead going to be bookending the first. And now it looks like Ryan Potter and Robert Kenny leading a second pack that is a bit slower, admittedly. Last time by about half a second off. The double file pack just has a bit more momentum. That time by, it looks like the bookenders, including Chad Winstead, going to run a 47.1. This time by for Robert F. Kenny and company, they actually run a 1, so now they're going to be dead even, and they're going to gain back in on the lead pack. Now, Dylan Petit going to be up to go to the top of the board with Brad Kress. Scott Wheeler going to lose a spot there. Caleb Morrissey there as well. Brad Kress able to use the outside line effectively and make that momentum stick for the lead. And they go double file 2 by 2 by 2 for the top 3 rows. Dalton Beer now there with Casey Heschel for the 4th row as these guys are getting oh so close and oh so tangled up with one another. And And this is what it's all about. If you're not able to keep it competitive like this, you're just not able to run it. And these guys are conservative while they are competitive. You want to be able to conserve your fuel if you're in the middle of the pack, conserve tires, and eventually conserve your aggression. They go 3 wide that time by. Brad Kress going to be able to hold on. As you can see, Dalton Beer in the mix of it. And Brad Kress going to shuffle them around. They're able to save it. And 7 in. The first 7 have flown right by. Bumlock Rants coming into the chat as well. Thank you for stopping by. What a race we are seeing here. He's down on the stripe. Kress leads Wheeler and Morrissey. Casey Heschel there as well. And the man up front, Brad Kress, now going to be able to take it by storm with Scott Wheeler in the 2nd spot, Casey Heschel in 3rd, and Morrissey in P4. And these boys are moving. Dylan Clark in the 5th spot now, and Dylan Body going to be there as well. All the Dylans still lined up with one another quite nicely, but Wheeler and Brad Kress going to be side by side. Kayla Morrissey going to be attached to the 97 machine at the hip there, and they get back to the front of the field once again. Nice work. 97 and 6 back out front. 7 in out of 80 becomes 8 in out of 80, and the first few laps have been able to fly by thanks to the quick work of the guys up front. And it looks like the 4 horsemen, 2 of which out in front. Kayla Morrissey turning a new leaf, and Scott Wheeler going back to basics and keeping himself out front. And the basics for him are winning. Caleb Morrissey has a lot to learn here with the next gens. He's been admitting it himself. And while he did get a podium finish last season, not the season he wanted, but now with a new opportunity to become a better driver, it looks like he is taking it. There it is going to be the 29 machine of Brad Kress with Casey Heschel in 4th, Dylan Clark in 5th, and looks like Justin Gibbs there as well, as everyone's going to be shuffling in the middle of the pack there. James McKee going to be involved in it, and now the 2nd pack has mixed with the 1st, and it begins, as a matter of fact, its own little tangent. As the first few guys have been able to pull away, these guys in the middle are just able to stick in and stick on quite nicely as side by side Kenny Brooks goes with James McKee. Chad Winstead in the middle of it with now Dalton Beer falling back just a bit. He stuck to the outside line, and the commitment there, while admirable, not able to keep him up front, and he will fall to the back there for only a moment. And these guys waiting for the sun to die down. At this point in the race, you are actually just clicking down laps. There is so much time here until the race ends. You just want to be able to get there lap after lap after lap. First lap car, I believe that's Chance Duckworth. But at this point, you just want to be able to hold on lap after lap, take it in, and it's a waste of racing the day. People have said this about Homestead. There's actually a new documentary, Rowdy, on Freeview, and then watch it. Kyle Busch said that when it comes to racing at Homestead for the championship race at Homestead, if you raced before the night, you're just wasting your time racing, wasting your energy. You gotta wait till the night, you gotta pace around before then, and it looks like at Daytona, the season opener here, it might be the same mentality. If you're able to hold on for now, you might be able to hold on for later, and you might have a higher chance to hold on to later compared to a guy who just goes 100% every lap. Going 100% is incredibly admirable, of course, you're able to hold on to it, but burning energy is not a good thing to do, not even in the fuel sense, but in the mental sense. The super speedways are a mental game. Chance Duckworth is going to be the first guy a lap down there, and you can see he's going to be filed down to the inside line, and he should be able to go down to the apron. This time through, we will see whether or not he does. They go 3 as a result. Duckworth going to hold on, but the 28 going to stick himself into the battle. They are 3 wide just a bit there. And now it's going to be Terry Brooks side by side with the title sponsor on Brooks' car, and Kenny and Terry representing the 2-3-5-4 combo. And down to the inside line, Kerry goes on Kenny, and that's going to be Terry as a matter of fact. As you can see, Chance Duckworth going to hold on, but lose a bit of time. 11 laps in out of 80. And taking off laps with the sun fully sets. Let's ride on board just a moment here with Scott Wheeler. Wheeler in the 97 machine coming down to the stripe. The sun, it's real bright here when the sun is setting, and that's just the way that iRacing interprets the sunset. It almost looks like a haze, and it's a bright haze, almost as if the sun is fully out. And you can see down here, the shade is particularly noticeable, and the shadows already forming on the wall there. And you can tell the push from Caleb Morrissey is essential. He's just been able to cruise all race long so far. And Morrissey, the man pushing the driver of the 97 machine, just able to hold on here, 12 laps in of 80. Not much, not intense so far. You hold on now, you'll be able to get to the end of it. You might be able to have a chance at the victory. He knows his teammate is a great chance at getting up there. These two working together, it could be a dream team. Those top 2 boys, as Caleb Morrissey looking to prove that he is worth the shot and not the best season he had last season. Now, turning over a new leaf, that is in the past and this is the present, and now he is looking to bring the present forward to a new and Scott Wheeler still leading 13 laps in out of 80. Brad Kress coming up again on the high side. Now looks to be double file once again. And you can see, slowly but surely, the guys on the outside developing a line once again. And they are moving. And now looks to be a bit of a shuffle, but it is still Brad Kress and Kendall Kerr, part of Blacktop Racing, holding on out in front, the 29 and 21, as they come up on the second lap car. And that second lap car, well, it's pole sitter Matthew Rodriguez, not able to make the start, and this is what happens. He's just holding off and waiting for the laps to tick by, is now dead last, except for Chance Duckworth. Will fall, and it looks like he actually might be able to fall further than Duckworth, as Duckworth is in this pack. And they're going to go way high. Almost some contact there with the 13. Corey Blevins able to pull out of it, but a big move there. And Matthew Rodriguez, while he has nowhere to go on the outside, he got caught in the turn. He still almost gets caught up in an incident, and that's not good. And that's why these lap cars, well, it's not often at Daytona people get lapped down on pace. Everyone is within 4 seconds of the lead. Whether you're a lap car or on the lead lap, everyone is within 4 seconds of the guy in first, and that is a great margin to have. If you're within 4 seconds, anything can happen. Imagine the first 33 guys get wrecked, and you are the 34th man. There are 34 drivers in this race. If the first 33 get wrecked, it's possible you could come home as the victor. You're only 4 seconds back. It could happen right here on the start-finish line or just before the start-finish line, and you could win. You want to maintain a safe distance before you get to the end of this race. If you don't maintain that safe distance, you don't have a great shot at getting that victory. Now or never to keep it out in front. 15 laps in out of 80, and we are 5 laps away, and actually a bit more than that, until we get to our second stage beginning. No stage cautions here in the Highline Racing League. We don't do it like that. We do have stages now, as the playoffs are in effect, and we're getting oh so close to them, as still Wheeler and Kress inside and outside. It is the drivers of the Four Horsemen and the drivers of Blacktop Racing fighting with one another, as the outside line now has a major advantage, but it looks like Kerr and Brad Kress able to stick together, as Kendall Kerr going to clear the driver of the 97, and now is going to be a new leader, and it is a new order as the Chevys lead from the Fords, and the Toyota now on the outside line lead the way. That's Dylan Petit in the 31 machine trying to lead the Toyota front, although he is all alone right now. No help as Matthew Rodriguez falling way back. He's now got an opportunity to win this first stage if he so wants to, but it looks like these guys are not racing for the stage. They are racing for the overall victory, and it's a valid way to race it. There is a lot of strategies that could be played. You want to win that first stage? Go for the first stage. You want to win that second stage? Go for the second. When it comes down to it, there are 3 stages, and the most important is that final. Most of these guys should want to stick around for the tail end of it. If you get those bonus points and drop to the back, well, that's valid. You get all those points, you're able to keep yourself in the mix. It is, of course, a solid strategy, but I think these guys want to win. This is the 15th season, and we're new title sponsor, a lot of new things going on here, and a lot of reasons to try to push for it like you've never pushed before, and certainly a different atmosphere here on the Highline Racing League, and it is evident that these guys up front are being as competitive as ever, as Brad Kress leading for Kendall Kerr. And Kerr leading the way by a wide margin still. And it looks like he's going to be there with Brad Kress. These guys now have about a car length or two on the outside line. Caleb Morrissey there as well. Dylan Petit in 5th. Casey Heschel is in 6th. And Scott McCarris on debut in the number 65 machine is there as well. And how about that for the man in the 65? First time we've seen him, not only all year long, but of course the first time we've seen him on this channel in this league. And McCarris is on a tear here. And the 65 getting up front, nicely calculating his way here, as it looks like to the high side. The 97 and the 6 machines go once again, getting oh so close to the start-finish line for the 20th lap's conclusion. And that will be it on the stage when we get there, as stage 2 going to start very, very soon. Going to be another 20-lap dash, and then we get down to the final 40 for stage 3. First stage, no caution so far, and we won't have a caution to end it. And these guys up front, Wheeler, Morrissey, and Dylan Petit, holding on like it's nothing here, as Scott McCarris there as well. Brad Kress there, Kendall Kerr, Casey Heschel, Corey Blevins in the 8th position. And from there on out, everyone here keeping it intact, keeping a nice hold on the field. As 18 laps in out of 80, nobody else working like the top 2 guys. Brad Kress and Kendall Kerr had a great thing going. Now they're back in the outside line, and they're getting mired back. These guys up front, the 96 and the 7, actually the 97 and the 6, they are pushing. It's 96 and 7 not in this event right now. As you can see, these guys in the back, they're double filed. They are losing time. As Scott Wheeler And Caleb Morrissey and Dylan Batiste have been able to pull a gap onto the field here, and it looks like about the top 20, 25 drivers in a frame there for only a moment, but the entire field is still close to one another, and it looks like about 30-odd guys within frame now. How about it? The almost entirety of the field is there. And the 97 there with the 6 and the 31 there as well. These guys are on a tear, putting on a great show so far, as it looks like they're oh so close to getting it done. As you can see, down to the stripe once again, the Spirit Airline number 38 machine, double file with Robert Kenny, and it looks like the 43 there as well, as one's going to go down to the inside line, and that looked to be not Toby Wedgwood, as Wedgwood's way back there. Chance Duckworth, it might not have been, but someone absolutely went down to the back of the field, and that might have been Colton Gardner. I certainly saw someone take the apron there. Matthew Rodriguez now going to be in the thick of the battle here. Double file, big time they all go, and 20 laps in. Coming to the conclusion of this lap, it will be the end of stage 1, and these guys, double file, don't hold a candle to the top 2. And it looks like Scott Wheeler will be able to take home the first stage win of the season coming down the line. Morrissey not going to be able to make a move just yet. As they all rush down, this is the first stage of the season, and bragging rights might just go to the 96. And the 97, as a matter of fact, gets it. And Scott Wheeler wins the first stage of the season. The 97 is on a tear. The 96 nowhere to be found right now. And the 97, shades of the Wood Brothers with that paint scheme, is in dominant form right now. And he leads the first stage, leading almost every single lap. Now on to stage 2 of 3. And the next 20 laps, well, they're all going to come down in a similar fashion. And we will see how the 97 is able to hold on. Caleb Morrissey there, Dylan Petit in the mix as well. Casey Heschel there as well. Dylan Petit in third now. Caleb Morrissey is still in second, and the double file field has been able to reel in Scott Wheeler and company. And while these top 2 guys have been able to put on a great show, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, it looks like about 10 rows deep right now. The front of the field is. Still, it looks like it's the 97's game here, and nobody else has the pace that he has so far. And we will see whether or not the remainder of the field is able to keep up. It looks like now this pack is the one to beat. And nobody else on their level. The 97 of the 6 there with the 31 of Dylan Petit. And while Rodriguez not able to help his teammate, it looks like Dylan Petit does not necessarily need the help as much as he might want it. And he's able to keep himself in the thick of this lead pack as if he has nothing to die for here. His car, it could go out. He has no fast repair, and he is pushing to wits end, working with anyone he can. And right now, with the Blacktop boys right behind him, he's able to make something happen and put on a charge that nobody else has been able to replicate so far. Coming down to the stripe, the 31 machine will lead the lap and cross over to lead the inside wall. And now, it looks like Scott Wheeler gets a bit disheveled there. Caleb Morrissey gives him just enough room to keep himself in the game there. And you can see the sky is an incredible glow of orange hues. And that is a sight to behold. The drivers rush by the inside camera there. And coming down the back, it's still going to be the outside line leading. Now with new faces, Brad Kress and Kevin Curry able to rejuvenate their run. And they might be able to take the Scott Wheeler powerhouse down and out as they go to the inside line and leave James McKee. That they do, but McKee's now going to be able to hold on to the outside line. As soon as not those top 2 guys on the inside come back out, because their teammate going to be hanging out there on the outside line, and we will see whether or not they come back to pick up the 9 machine. McKee, who was top 5 in points last season, is looking to do so once again here in the SB Designs number 9. A great new look for the driver of McKee. Great new look for the entirety of Blacktop Racing. Brad Kress with the stunning Lavender number 29 leading the way. Kevin Curry's teammate right behind him. And these top 2 guys with a lot of synergy here, and it looked like the guys in the 4 Horsemen camp were the best at the teamwork. But now it looks like making the dream work. It's the boys in the orange and purple, and it is the 29 and 21 out in front by a decent margin. 24 laps in out of 80. Almost there to our second stage's conclusion already. First 40 laps are your first 2 stages. From there out, the third stage is twice the length of the first 2. That will be the determining factor, of course, for the race victory. You want to win that one. If you don't win it, well, that's where all the marbles are. You might be able to come home with a nice points finish and might be able to come home with bonus points. But I do believe that everyone here is chasing that victory, of course, in the third stage, compared to the first and the second. As much as you want these bonus points, you don't necessarily need them. And holding on to what you have right now, it's better than going for broke in the first and second. And losing it all in the third. As we see a multi-car incident in the back of the field. Looks like the 13 machine, Corey Levin's going to go around there. They're able to save it, and we do not have a great replay on it just yet. They're going to fall down the pack big time. No caution is out there. Dylan Clark caught up in it, and let's take a quick look, find out just what happened. As Clark gets caught up in what appears to be the first victory, or rather the first incident, and far from a victory in this event. Caution flag is out, and that might be a victory for them, but still the first yellow, as Blevins looked to have lost a lot of speed there, gets up into the Terry Brooks, and then gets into Dylan Clark. And the 13 there with the 5, they go all the way down to the inside. The apron is going to be caught, and it's a 2-car incident, and they get back onto the field. That is the caution nonetheless, and the leaders going to be able to keep themselves out in front. Kendall Kerr leads us into the first caution of the season, and it's out for Corey Blevins and Dylan Clark. 26 laps in out of 80, and they were able to make it about a half lap there, but 2 cars getting caught up big, and Matthew Rodriguez and Chance Duckworth now have a big chance to get themselves back in the mix of it and perhaps contend for the victory. And what an opportunity that would be if, of course, they're able to make it happen. As Kendall Kerr leads James McKee, it is still 1-2 Blacktop Racing, and now 1-2-3 Blacktop Racing. Brad Crest going to be scored in the third spot, as the outside lane was getting a run as soon as we turned away from the lead battle, and the live feed would have shown that. But these guys out front, the synergy from the Blacktop group, now the best in the field, best in the business. As the pace car going to dive in, and now it looks like they will be allowed to go on to pit road here. And let's see what they've got coming down to pit road for the first time this season. This is the first race, as Matthew Rodriguez is going to take the lap back on pit road. And let's see what they got in store. As the entry cam going to be displayed later, the exit cam, so Kendall Kerr already making his way in alongside James McKee. All right down into pit road, and there you have it. This is going to be the race off pit road, led by McKee, Kendall Kerr there as well. And the top 3 guys in terms of position and stalls, not going to be there, not in the slightest. Now, it looks like going to be a bit of an uptake there from DJ Stagner, getting himself up front. Dalton Beer wins the race off pit road. That's going to be the driver of Kendall Kerr. Then Scott Wheeler, James McKee, Brad Crest, Caleb Morrissey there as well, Dylan Petit. And then Stagner going to be able to get himself right behind in the number 64 of Dylan Body. As you can see, Chad Winstead there as well. Going to be a few more guys coming out of pit road right now. And it looks like a multitude, including Stagner on the way. You can see Terry Brooks, Kenny Brooks on the move, Colton Gardner in and now out. And the majority of the field already on its way. Dalton Beer is your race leader. 27 laps in, out of 80. Here at Daytona, the Services and Supply 200, live from the World Center Racing, and the 38 machine is the man out in front. And what a race he's been having so far. And it looks like now able to capitalize on it, as we are 27 in out of 80, almost up to our second stage. Almost done with that one, entering the third in just a few laps time. A very calm first 26 we saw. Now the 27th, we should be able to get the show back rolling by lap 30. As Beer going to lead the remainder of the field down on to pit road. Not down to pit road, down by the commitment line. It looks like Dalton actually going to come down pit road. And now Kendall Kerr going to be the race leader here, as Kendall Kerr going to take the spot. Dalton Beer comes down to the pit, as it is now Scott Wheeler in second, James McKee in third, Brad Crest in fourth, Caleb Morrissey in fifth, and Dylan Petit there in position number 6. And Kerr, top of the board here, now has a great shot, as we are 1 lap to green here at Daytona. We will be going green at lap 29, so not a lot of time in between cautions here. The race is going to be sped up just a bit, and these guys know that they want to keep their race going no matter how. And a clean group of drivers for the most part. A 2-car incident there, and it looks like something might have happened in terms of the internet side, because it looks like a lot of speed loss by the 13 machine, and not a lot of damage that would be terminal to either drivers, the 13 or the 5. So they should be able to get things back on their way. So it looks like the 5 back on, and the 13 looks to be in similar shape. As a matter of fact, the 13 is Corey Blevins, and he's in the pack already, as guys continue to catch up to the field here. Everyone still on this one. Nobody has retired just yet. It's still led by the driver of the 97 machine in Scott Wheeler, as we get ready to put this one back in motion. Get the wheels on the race here. See how they stack up once again. 28 laps out of 80. And we are close to the second stage conclusion, about halfway into stage 2. And stage 1 won by Wheeler. And now Caleb Morrissey not connected to him. That might be a bit of a challenge, but we see how the guys in the Four Horsemen manage to combat it and eventually get themselves back out front. Help might be lost, but Kendall Kerr alone on the inside as well, or is he, as James McKee's there. Now pace cars are going to come down in the first restart of the season. Green flags out, led by Kendall Kerr. A great start, and now it's going to be the 921 back of the move as Kendall Kerr now going to dive to the inside line, and Scott Wheeler going to be left out hanging as now Caleb Morrissey goes up to the high side to help his teammate. And the outside going to lose a lot of time and a lot of speed there as Morrissey not going to hang in there. And he's going to keep working with his teammate. It's Chad Winstead there as well. And it looks like the 10 machine of Robert Kennedy going to be able to make the move there. And Kenny is on a tear. And driving down to the outside. Now he's going to go to the inside. And it looks like a two-car tandem not going to be able to make it stick here. And the guys out in front on the inside simply have the advantage so far. The 21 and the 9, first and second. Then Brad Kress in the 29 with Dylan Petit in fourth. And you can see them tear down the back straightaway and then to the front. As it's still the 21 leading the 9 there. And the 29 is in the third spot. Dylan Petit in fourth, Chad Winstead in fifth, and Adam Bozzi is in sixth. And guys out front putting on a great show and able to keep themselves in the mix of it. Coming down to the stripe once again, it looks like the 21 now has a lot of help, not just the 9. Of course, he has the 21 in the mix. And these guys not far from one another. Blacktop Racing Group now working together, and it looks like they have more than 2 cars. They have 3, as now Caleb Morrissey trying to push Dylan Petit out in front of the field, and he goes down to the inside line. And I think that's exactly what Wheeler and Morrissey wanted, is now Caleb going to be able to take the lead here with his teammate, the 6 and the 97, able to go back out front with some great timing and some great movement. That was all strategy there, as we see a bit of a shovel on the inside line. They're going to be able to keep it going. Everyone is still on the move there. It looks like that's going to be Adam Bozzi losing a bit of time, and he keeps it going as he's now in the midst of the Swamp Motorsports cars. Ty Smith there, Ryan Potter, DJ Stagner, and every one of these guys with the same paint scheme. So Bozzi now in the Swamp, and that's for certain. The Swamp is now single file. Caleb Morrissey going to lead him through down to the back straightaway. The 6 machine now there with a 97. Dylan Petit is in the third spot, and Kendall Kerr is in fourth. And Terry Brooks with Kenny Brooks, 5th and 6th. 31 in out of 80. And it's just getting better from here, day to night, and you can see the sun is setting, the sky is getting darker. And now Dylan Petit back out in front, and it looks like Petit being used as a weapon by these teams. As a 31, he gets to move wherever, and these guys out front, they can combat it and keep themselves in winning contention. No matter when or no matter where the driver of the 31 machine moves, they're able to get the lead shortly thereafter, and it looks like the biggest help to any driver on any team so far. What's that man? And Dylan Petit in his Toyota Camry leading the field right now, and it looks like that might be the fruit of his labor, as he's out in front by about a car length or so with the remainder of the field. Kendall Kerr there as well, though, and Terry Brooks in the mix as well, and that's for certain. These guys up front, they're able to hold on quite strongly, as Petit has the field behind him now. Kendall Kerr there as well, the 31 and the 21, as it's still Caleb Morrissey and Scott Wheeler working nicely with one another. And skid marks you could see on the track, 32 laps in out of 80, coming down to about 7 odd laps to go, 8 odd laps to go until our stage is concluded. And these guys out front, they might not be fighting for that stage victory, as Morrissey goes up to the high side with Scott Wheeler. These two have been dominating all race long. The blacktop guys in a close second in terms of domination. But I feel that these two just have the chemistry. It's a lot easier to make 2 people work together, as the 42 Ramirez is going to go all the way high and the 23 going to go all the way low. You could see Morrissey now going to go down the inside line, and Wheeler going to be able to follow him. These two have a connection, and while Blacktop Racing certainly has a great connection, able to keep themselves out front, it's harder to maneuver 3 people. If you get 2 people down and one person stays behind or vice versa, it just becomes that much harder to keep these guys going. So connection, it is essential. Coming down to the line, 33 laps in out of 80. It's still the 6th, leading the 97. And now back out front, it is the 4 horsemen being led by Apple. And these guys up front know what they want out of the car. Effort, absolutely effect. Dylan Petit now in front, as it looks like right now his teammate in Matthew Rodriguez in 24th. Right now in the second pack, and while he's on the lead lap, Chance Duckworth is as well. One retiree in Dylan Body. These guys out front, they are keeping themselves in the mix. And nothing is stopping them. 28 machine though, back in the back. And we go back out front. Roberto Ramirez is going to be side by side with Caleb Morrissey, as it looks like now Kendall Kerr going to be out in front of Chevy, leading 2 Fords, as 2 Toyotas now getting mixed up. On the high side, this could be some manufacturer teamwork. Toyota on Toyota up high. 35 in out of 8. Down to the inside, Ramirez is going to go, and Dylan Petit going to be able to have himself on the high side, able to hold on the high side. 35 in. Now it becomes a shuffle to get that second stage victory. We'll see how intense these guys go for it, because it looks like right now they might be pushing just a bit harder than they were beforehand. And how about the performance being put on by the 42? Roberto Ramirez in the JBL number 42 able to get himself back out front for the first time all race long, and he has something under his sleeve that we haven't seen all race long from him. And this is the performance that he's needed. He's had a lot of great races. We saw him last season, the road course ace, able to get a victory at an oval as well. But the super speedways, a shot for him to prove what he's got no matter when, no matter where. 3 super speedways we rotate to: Talladega, Daytona, the New Atlanta, and the iRacing Super Speedway. I don't believe we do here, but Daytona, the biggest of them all when it comes to prestige. And winning this race, it means all that and then some, as Petit still leads him down. Look at the engines, the roar of the engines coming down the stripe once again. Andrew Baker now going to be on the inside, and it looks like now going to be on the outside, moving up high. 43 chasing the 31, looking on board with the driver of, indeed, that 42. Let's take a look. You can see he's got a lot to work on here. Andrew Baker, indeed, all the intention that he has to keep himself out front. All about making yourself home and making yourself trusted as a driver. Take a look at the shunt that's being pushed in the rearview mirror. A big push there. He's able to take it, and that's what it's all about when it comes to super speedways and trust. Can't take a push, not going to be able to go anywhere. As Kendall Kerr looks to go high for just a bit. Will in fact take that line, and that is going to be a big move for the driver of the number 21 machine. And now the 31 being able to keep himself out front as well. And everyone here through and through like it's nothing, through right in the back of the back there, and it looks like they're able to hold on to it, as that is going to be a multi-car situation. Scott Zellner there, and it looks like the majority of the field is going to be caught up in it, and you can see the 10 machine, Robert Kennedy, in the mix of Robert Kenny. As a matter of fact, Kennedy not going to be in this event. However, Harry Brooks there as well, and Kenny Brooks there, and 2 Kennys, first and last names. And it looks like they are all oh so close. Shuffling it up as Caleb Morrison now is leading 30 laps in of the 8. And for these guys up front, it's all about consistency. 38 in, and now Morrissey goes down to the inside line. He might be able to let Scott Wheeler go through, and that he will not, although we'll see. Now the 97 does go through, and it looks like that was a calculated move from the driver of the number 97. Now he's got his teammate and Morrissey right behind him. When it comes to stacking stage points, it looks like these two just that, and that seems to be part of their game plan here. Nobody else has been going for stage points as hard as these guys have, and it's been all about Wheeler and Morrissey dominating the stages. First stage, well, Wheeler got it. Now, Morrissey looking to push his teammate back out front to get yet another. And Dylan Body going to come into the chat there. Once again, stopping by. We hope you enjoy the broadcast. Indeed, a great one we've had so far in the racing. A large factor of that is the 97 now going to be shuffled in. Once again, Kendall Kerr going to be leading over Scott Zellner. Robert Kenny there as well. And from the middle of the pack, he's able to get it up front. And now the second stage coming to its conclusion. This time by the next lap, going to be the second stage's end. And now it's all about winning that one or winning the main race. Let's see how hard these guys go. 1 lap to go in stage 2. Now it's all about it. The 21 machine, they're going to go up to the high side. Wheeler knows he wants this. But now, Robert Kenny going down to the inside, and Kenny makes it happen. As the 21 there as well. Double file. It's going to be the IC Light number 21 machine right in front. And now right beside the GoDaddy number 10, and he's got to go. The 10 machine does, as now Dylan Petit goes to the high side here, and the second stage is on the line. Wheeler would need a miracle to win this one. He was in position 1 lap ago, but Kendall Kerr gonna fake low, and it's not gonna work out for him. Loses a lot of momentum, and Petit keeps it going. 2 by 2 coming down to the line this time by. They're all shuffling just a bit, but as they come down to the stripe, the majority of the field is in frame, but it will be at the line. Kendall Kerr wins stage 2. And now the third stage has begun. This is the final half of the event, and 40 laps remain. And these are the most important 40 that we have ran. Only one caution in the first half. Let's see how it intends to get from here on out. Not able to keep it up front here. Might as well send it to the back and hold for the best. It's all about being aggressive right now, although they're still double file, and I don't think the mentality will stick in for these guys, as Chance Duckworth is going to be one of the guys 1 lap down. Jason Harris, the next man they're going to lap. They're coming up quickly. As you can see it, Robert Kennedy, he almost won that stage. He was just about a 1/10 of a second away, if not less than that. Now he's going to be the first man to come up on the next lap card, and Harris is going to be that man. And for Queen City Racing, the driver of the 80 machine going to lose just a bit more time there. And still an opportunity if a caution comes out. The majority of the field, you can see it. Matthew Rodriguez now up to 21st. Slowly gaining time here. Second pack coming back in the frame here. And this means a lot when it comes to the strategy of this race. More guys to compete with, more guys to fight with when it comes to position. If you're not able to hold on to that fight, it could be done and done. As the 2 and the 97 going to go first, second, and third. As now Robert Kennedy gets held up by Jason Harris. Staying down to the inside line, and now he might be able to make something happen as the 88 machine is still there, and he is not lifting. He is not going down to the apron. He might be able to go down to the apron, down the back, as Scott Zellner, your race leader, the winningest driver in this series, one of the 4 horsemen. Now 3 of which are lined up first, second, and third. Big time business for the men up front. And these guys, these 3, well, they know if they're able to get up front like this, they could have a shot at the victory. They have not seen the likes of which for quite a while at the Superspeedway. Last Superspeedway we went to, James McKee came home the winner, and now it looks like the Fords are out in front with the Toyota leading them through, and Teamworks making it happen. Up front, it is the 2, the 97, and the 6, with the remainder of the field far out of touch here. It's every driver except for 1 in this one. 33 drivers, the difference when it comes to every driver in the pack. And 1 retiree in Dylan Body. 37 remain. As Scott Zellner with Scott Wheeler, and still Kayla Morrissey there as well with Kendall Kerr in 4th. Looks like everyone's still in contention here. Any driver could win this. You're within that 1 lap down range, you still have a great shot. Even if you're winning 2 laps down, you could get it done and make it happen. And making it so, it might be a challenge. It is not impossible. We've seen much crazier things happen before. Restart is still possible. Only a maximum of 1 green-white checkered, so we should be able to go up to about 210 miles with about 84 odd laps. I don't believe we will hit the extension. However, with 37, now becoming 36 laps to go, Zellner and his team are pulling away out front. And the battle for 4th is raging on. Robert Kennedy there, and it's Kenny with Kendall Kerr. Robert Kennedy, not in this race, but Robert Kennedy is putting on a great show. Kenny, as it stands, in the 10 machine. As you can see, Kendall Kerr right beside him. Let's go on board with the driver of the 10 machine and see what he's seeing from the rear view, as he's certainly having a great fight as he's got guys beside him and behind him. Here's the on board with the driver of the 10. And it looks like drivers pitting under green for the first time. We're going to cut away from the onboard to take a quick look at that for the first time. Green flag stops this season. We will take a quick look, find out what's going on as guys now shuffle down to pit road. And it was led by Kendall Kerr that time by. And Kerr takes the first bunch down, about a 20-lap stint there. And green flag stops for the first time. The SB Designs number 9, Kendall Kerr there as well. And these guys might come out together as they are getting lifted up. They have their car jacked out. And now Kendall Kerr going to go. And it looks like Jason McKee might be able to follow him through. Roberto Ramirez for First pack down and out, and that's going to be a pack of about 6, 7, or 8. And it looks like Alan coming there as well as Robert Kenny still leads. And will Kenny come down to pit road this time? I know he will not. Nobody comes down to pit road. And it looks like that was the first wave. We'll see when the second chooses to make itself welcome. As we see the wreck in the back, and that's going to be a big one. It's going to be the driver of, it looks like the Rodriguez machine, and caution is out. We have to take a double take on that. Pole sitter involved in a wreck. Let's find out just what happened there. Happened right in front of us as the green flag stops. We're already on their way. And you can see just a bit of a shuffle might have made it happen. Dalton Beer getting on Rodriguez. And Dalton Beer gets involved. And it looks like a 13 involved with yet another wreck. But Corey Blevins, nothing he can do. Rodriguez gets banged up with 34 to go. Third stage, first caution. Second stage went all the way green. First stage, very clean as well. We have our second caution of the night. Everyone can get grouped up. Robert Kenny is now your race leader. Nobody else at the pace of the driver of the 10 machine as he gets caught up to the pace car. And Kenny in the 10 with a GoDaddy sponsorship had himself a great run so far. It's only going to get more intense from here, however, and we will see how intense it gets. Anyone has a shot at the victory. MDLXL saying, oh golly, and indeed, this changes up the pace of the race big time. Morrissey still in the top 5, and it looks like some of these guys not holding on. However, a good majority are able to keep themselves up front. See what it's all about. Keeping themselves up front. It's all about what happens. Still, so far, side by side. Not be, as Kenny gonna lead him down into the first segment of the caution. I should see guys come down pit road, a 21 lap stint for Kenny. This could be the time he comes down and puts it into pit road. That we will see, and that it will be. Looks like Caleb Morrissey and a few other drivers come down pit road. Robert Kenny leads a good majority of these guys, and looks like strategy going to play out for the guys who were able to pit just a lap before. Perfect strategy, but the majority of the field not going to catch on to it. And here we go, the race off pit road. It is on its way again, and it's going to be led by a good majority of these guys as Scott Wheeler going to come down to his pit stall, and he's going to start way up front here. So let's see who's able to get it done as pit road is busy here. Still, these guys not out just yet. Scott Wheeler going to get on his way right now. Caleb Morrissey going to go as well. And it looks like teammates going to be able to go as Scott Zellner goes with them. Pit road, it is active. Morrissey goes up next. Then it's going to be Kenny, Petit, Winstead, the Brooks brothers. And it's going to be Adam Bozzi there as well. And coming down to the line, Dylan Clark there. And the majority of the field on its way. Swamp is going to go as well. The Swamp team. It's Kendall Kerr, now your race leader. Perfect strategy there, able to call it like it was nothing. And 32 remain, only one retiree in this event with 32 laps to go. The first 49 have been very clean. You will head to lap 50. First 50 laps of this season, only 2 cautions. Daytona's action-packed, and we always see incidents at the World Center Racing. Great, very clean event. And if you enjoyed the action, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. We are getting closer to the conclusion of this event. A great season opener here at Daytona. And a great crowd to go along with it. Thank you all for the support as this race is just getting heated up. And Daytona always puts together a great show no matter where we see the cars at and no matter what configuration it is. Looks like anyone has the opportunity to make it happen. Jason Harris going to come down pit road that time by. It looks like Alan Kuhlman now in third, the highest we've seen him run all race long, as we will now send it into 1 lap to green. That we do. Double file, Ramirez goes up to the high side, and Alan Kuhlman going to be there with his teammate, and Brad Crest, James McKee, Blacktop Racing, 4 of the top 5 to lead this one off. 31 laps remain here at Daytona International Speedway. This is the ASC Services and Supply 200 in the Highline Racing League ASC Services and Supply Premier Series. 31 remaining. A lot of time to make it happen for any driver. And a guy like Kendall Kerr, he knows this. 21 has been up front for a good majority of this event. Now, time to show why. we head into the crunch time of this race. 31 laps remain. A lot of familiar faces, a few debutants, and a few guys returning. DJ Stagner, a champion in this series, a driver in the Integrity Racing League, coming back to Thursday night in style and having a great run right now with Swamp Motorsports as the Swamp is in the back of the field holding on to one another. 4 cars, and they could go whenever they want. But right now, the 4-car team dominating it has been Blacktop Racing. And Kendall Kerr, knowing that he sees the light, even though the sun has set here in Daytona. Icy Light, his sponsor for tonight's event. That was a JBL number 42 right beside him. We will get back to the swing of things. The sun, it is entirely set. And it looks like the night sky will take over. It looks like still 33 cars on the track. 31 on that lead lap. And with the sun gone, it's now time to get to the real race in here. Time to push to the limit. Second restart of the night. Kendall Kerr, Roberto Ramirez. Green flag's out once again. Green flag, it will show us 30 laps to go here at Daytona. And everyone able to roar off quite nicely. Everyone gets a great start. Double file, they are a good majority. But Kendall Kerr gets a great launch on Alan Kunman. Not sure if that's planned, but Kunman leaves a lot of room for the man in the 21 machine to block the high side and perhaps give a run to Kunman, and that he does. Able to block nicely, and now his teammate able to get a momentum charge as Ramirez does not clear down on the inside line, and now Kunman able to keep himself intact, and now Ramirez able to block that move, keep himself in the winning chances as well. The 42 goes down to the inside line to keep himself in competition, and side by side they will go. 30 laps remaining. As you can see, about 30 drivers in frame right now who still have a chance at the victory. If you're fighting up front, of course you have a great opportunity, but anyone here has that chance. You just have to stick to your guns here and stick with what you know works. The SP Designs 9 machine goes down to the inside line. Kendall Kerr there as well. And Roberto Ramirez in the 4th spot with Casey Heschel in now 4th. As they go side by side, Ramirez gets relegated. They're double file. 5 rows solid deep. As Scott Wheeler trying to get with his teammate Caleb Morrissey and Scott Zellner. They're already together, but now they need to burst through and get up to the front of the field if they want to make anything happen. 29 laps remain as we come down to the start-finish line. And everyone going to shovel there. It's going to be a big-time incident. Scott Zellner gets involved. Robert Kenny gets involved. Big time. This is the big one here at Daytona, and a good majority of the field gets through, but a lot of guys do not. It's a sea of wrecked race cars. Caution is out. And let's take a quick look at just what happened and put this one in a quarter of the speed and get a big refresher. You can already see by this point they are wrecked. But let's take it back just a bit more and see what might have caused it. As we come down into the 3rd and 4th turns, certainly this was up front. And Robert Kennedy was involved. Kendall Kerr gets shuffled, and that scares a good majority of the field. Kerr goes in the wall. Casey Heschel is there. And Scott Wheeler goes 4 wide for just a moment. Shelly Babbinchat coming in the chat there and saying no. And it looks like Zellner getting involved, and that is when the wreck really begins. That's where it happens. Zellner getting into Kenny, getting into the 49 of Heschel, and the 31 and 5 there, Petit and Dylan Clark, and Kenny just hangs it up the track. Nothing you can do at that point. Zellner might be able to save it. The Swamp Motorsports guys get involved, and the 13 gets involved in this wreck again. Jeff Morash, Dalton Beer gets turned, Chad Winstead. And Zellner is going to get really lucky here. As you could see, more drivers get involved. Andrew Baker, the 93. Gibbs going to get involved. Scott McCarris. Adam Bozzi almost touches Zellner. And how about that? Tyler Rush backwards. Chance Duckworth involved. Jason Harris rolling up to the scene. And this is a parking lot. And the tire dilapidated on the 5. That is absolutely his winning chances over. We send it back to the 1 speed. Normal speed, as a matter of fact. A big time incident, and this takes out a lot of good cars with a lot of good drivers. Very unfortunate. It is still led by James McKee here. Blacktop Racing now having a great chance with 27 laps to go. Now an opportunity to finish this one off in style for the drivers of the 9, the 8, the 27, and the 29, and 21 as a matter of fact. As now we have a lot of guys coming down on pit road. getting some damage repaired, and it looks like this could take about 5 or 6 guys out, although Adam Bossi gets back on his way, and that's the thing, these next gens are very strong machines. They're able to get back up front, even if an incident happens. Scott Zellner, he looks to be good already. He's back out on track, and the 2 machine, while getting almost caught up and almost getting swallowed in that wreck, able to avoid it, for the most part, keep himself in contention as guys coming down to the back will come down pit road, and a lot of guys with damage will choose to take it and get repaired. Although it looks like of those guys, the 2 machine of Zellner might not be one of them, and that he looks not to be. And Zellner still on the track, although nothing happened, as if nothing happened, and 26 laps remain. James McKee leads him through as it stands. And with 26 remaining, you got to think about strategy now. 9 lap stint for McKee so far. And based on what we've seen, 20-25 is the limit. 26 laps to go here. You top off now. You should be, give or take, good enough to go for the remainder of this race. McKee could choose to do that right now. It would be risky. But now, it's the 3rd stage. Cautions could be more frequent. And we've already seen 2 in a pretty short proximity. Austin Bloom on the chat room now. And let's go 4 horsemen. And the 4 horsemen doing great so far tonight. As Scott Wheeler there. Scott Zellner gets out of the wreck. Caleb Morrissey not in the wreck to begin with. 4 horsemen doing a great job keeping themselves up in front. As James McKee leading the way so far. And he is moving. 9 machine. As the SP Designs facelift on that design, a great look, and so far a great run for the man up front. McKee putting on a show and putting on a run to be remembered. Nobody on his level so far, and anyone who wants to run with him, well, they got to run up front. That is for certain. And Shelly Babichat coming in the chat saying, let's go 4 horsemen. They're going to amplify that message as a lot of great drivers putting on a great show. Scott Zellner of the 4 horsemen there in the mix. And it looks like now, 25 laps to go. Blacktop Racing going to be alongside Roberto Ramirez. And Ramirez does not have much help with him right now, as it's Blacktop and the 4 horsemen all the way. And they fought for the manufacturer's title last season, and they might just fight for it again. 25 laps to go. And Toby Wedgwood, what appears to be a return season for him following a step away in season 14, is back in action as the owners of this league, and we've seen a lot more of him, and great to have Wedgwood, the 52, back in style, and the monster number 52 putting on a monstrous performance in what is his full-time return, and the black and green 52, bit of finesse and style to that paint scheme, is up front, and is here, not just as an owner, but here to prove that he's here as a hell of a driver. And he's back out front for a reason. Great run so far for the driver of the 52. James McKee leading the way so far with 25 laps to go. 24 when we head back to green. And every driver here has the opportunity to use caution. This is a time to bide their time, of course. Use strategy, perhaps formulate a strategy, make something happen. If you can think of a strategy right now, you might just be able to make something happen as a driver overall. If you can't make it happen here, you might not have a chance at the tail end of it. And the 9 machine and the 42 machine, well, they know it. Now, it's all about making something happen. Roberto Ramirez and some fans in the chat room. Scott Zellner, Caleb Morrissey. And if you want to show your favorite driver some love, be sure to drop in the chat room. Just subscribe and you'll have access whenever you want. Pace car is in. McKee's going to lead him. Green flag's out once again. 24 laps to go. We are truly in crunch time now, as we are now allowed 57 of 80. And the 9 and the 8 get a great start. And Zellner not going to pull in the inside line right now, as Brad Kress going to get linked up with his teammates as well. And it looks like a big separation right now. Kenny Brooks with Terry Brooks. And a big separation for the top 5 and back. That's Toby Wedgwood now going to be in the top 3 rows. And the majority of the field looks to be a bit shortened right now. It looks like about 20, 25 guys running up front. 26, as a matter of fact, in the lead lap. And from there on out, guys 27 on back, running back to get some points. 24 remain. You could see Ramirez now out in front. He's getting a push of a lifetime here from Wheeler. And Wheeler really wants him out of the way right now, trying to put the 4 horsemen back out on top. And it might just work. Now it's going to be 23. And you can see the aggression in the driver of the 97, getting himself back down to the inside line. Ramirez now has Morrissey on the back bumper, and Morrissey needs to dispose of the 42 quick if he wants to keep himself in the winning hunt. And it's all about moves lap after lap, and undeniable the 42 now holding up a bit of the drivers on the outside line. And it looks like a needed miracle after all the damage for the 38 car. Come on, Dalton Beer. And Beer, as it stands, is in fact about a lap down or so according to timing and scoring. We are taking a quicker look as it looks like the 38 machine is still in the mix here. However, not the best chances at getting that victory following the incident that he was involved in. Dalton Beer steals a chance here as we are now 22 laps to go, and you know what that means. 22 to go. TrackCams22.com, the best cameras on the iRacing service. Let's take it to a crank it up, uninterrupted, live on the Fireball Talks NASCAR YouTube channel. This is the season opener, the Services Supply 200. You hope you enjoy it. We will be right back. Let's enjoy it live and with the best sound on iRacing. And you can see right now, Kenny Brooks is leading the way so far in this event. Now it looks like Caleb Morris able to swap back and get that spot. These guys up front, 19 laps to go, have a great chance here. As they are all pushing as hard as they can. And now it becomes 18 laps to go. It's double file, a good majority of this pack. It's about 26 drivers in the lead lap right now. And it looks like 18 remaining. You just got to wind them down if you want an opportunity. Brooks brothers now up front, and it's Kenny and Terry fighting with one another right now, trying to get Caleb Morrissey out the way and put themselves back on top. Morrissey getting just a bit of a blink there, but James McKee is not. And now McKee getting pushed by the driver of the 97 as Wheeler now certainly wants to work with his teammate, and now he puts himself in front of the 6 machine by a wide margin, unbelievably wide. So much so that now Alan Goodman is in front of both his teammate and the majority of the field as well. And Wheeler has just been able to pull away with some magic time after time. He needs to pull away by any wide margin, he just does it. It seems like he has that magic, some power of some sort. He's able to use that bumper effectively. He doesn't spin anyone. He hasn't wrecked anyone this season so far. And he has kept himself calm, collected, most importantly, quick lap after lap. All about quick. decision making. You can be fast, but you have to be quick as well. If you're not able to rationalize everything in a few moments, you got to be really, really quick. And that's how these drivers up front are able to keep themselves on the top of the game. If you're not able to put it in A-list material, you're just not going to be able to be that guy who gets it up front and gets it to victory lane. You need to be the best guy, lap in, lap out, and nobody can be on your level. If you want to stay up front, you just have to be about perfect time after time. And it's evident that a man like the driver of that number 97 machine, he's showing it. Seems to be the team of the next-gens in this league so far. 16 laps to go, lap 65. And you can see now Morrissey with the 97 as they roll on are putting together a great show. 1-2, an iconic duo it appears these guys are, and they are pushing like nothing is wrong with their cars as Wheeler and Morrissey double file. They have been for quite a while now. And Jason McKee with Caleb Morrissey there as Alan Kuhlman in the third spot. And double file the middle of the package. Let's take a quick look at Roberto Ramirez is in there, and looks like Toby Wedgwood is as well. Wedgwood has a great shot. This is the highest he's ran all season long. Of course, it's the highest we've seen him run ever since season 14. He made a few part-time starts last season to get himself back in the racing swing of things. Unfortunately, not all too competitive admittedly, but now has a great opportunity to keep himself in the mix, keep himself out in front, keep himself as one of the better drivers in this series, as now he has a top 15 spot, perhaps locked in for the first race of the season. And Scott Wheeler has been up front with his teammate all race long. Nobody on their level, that's for certain, as the 97 has always been up front with the driver of the 6 machine. And those two, first, second, on the inside line, no matter where, it just seems like they have something together that nobody else can match. It is a talent to keep yourself out front with a teammate like that, no matter what the situation calls for. And they have that talent, and they have been using it quite nicely. The drivers up front just seem to have something that nobody else has as they come down to the start-finish line once again. 97 and the 6 just have it. 14 laps to go, but the Brooks brothers look to be there as well. Kenny Brooks, Terry Brooks, they are sponsored by the title sponsor of this series. And a big shout out to the drivers, of course, of the Brooks brothers, and a big shout out to the drivers who represent our title sponsor. It's the ASC Premier Series Services and Supply, a great company with a great representation of this group. The Highline Racing League, our new title sponsor, as we are going to show them on your screen. ASC Services Supply Incorporated. This is their race. SK Designs, a great partner as well, and Stadium Scene TV, a great partner of the Fireball Talks NASCAR YouTube channel. We hope to have them alongside every race that we broadcast, and it looks like now we do. We got to thank them for their support of the Highline Racing League in specific. Proud partners of both Fireball Talks NASCAR and the Highline Racing League. Stadium Scene TV are the ones that work for us and work for the viewers as well. It's all about the viewers for Stadium Scene TV. A great group with a lot of great guys. If you want to get into content creation, they might just be some of the best guys I hold it on to. Kenny Brooks right now, going to go up to the high side. It looks like for only a moment, going to fake high, going to go stay down low. Morrissey gets turned. Big wreck. Caleb Morrissey goes around. And this changes everything. Everyone gets caught up. Caution flags out. And Morrissey gets turned on the fake high. And this sends us in what will be a 10-lap sprint. I can't believe it. Caleb Morrissey running so well. And he is done and done. He's got a lot of damage. I think that's it. Tire dilapidated. The suspension is destroyed. Heartbreaker. Caleb Morrissey. And let's take a wider shot. You can see he's already wrecked by that point. That's really unfortunate. I can't believe it. Austin Bloom coming to chat. And Morrissey had a hell of a race going. I can't believe it. And it looks like Kenny Brooks is going to go fake it high. And that he will do for only a moment, but then gets right up on the quarter panel there. And going to tap him. Gets in the Wheeler. And they lock. The thing about these rear ends of the next gens, they are not flat. They're rounded. And he's able to curve it right into Morrissey. And Caleb just goes high. Dished right in. Sparks start flying, gets in the Brad Crest, destroys him, actually Jason McKee might be almost all right. Alan Kuhlman gets in the wall there, goes up high, hits Ramirez, gets into Justin Gibbs, gets into Baker, and this is indeed the big one. Morrissey sends it up high once again. Wedgwood gets into Macaris, and absolutely a heartbreaker for Caleb Morrissey. Kunman goes around, almost hits Adam Bozzi, actually. I think he does hit Adam Bozzi. Makaris gets a lot of damage there, and the 93 able to drive out of it. As you can see, Baker and Kress, and that is going to leave a mark indeed. Petit goes down to the inside line. Adam Bozzi, Roberto Ramirez still there. Chad Winstead gets destroyed. That we thought we saw. Jeff Morash is able to get out. Matthew Rodriguez there, but Morrissey gets caught up in a sea of drivers. And that is indeed the big one. Kress, Morrissey, McKee, Kunman, Petit, almost. A lot of great drivers taken out at once. This will level the playing field all the more. Lap 70 of 80. You can see Morrissey sitting on pit road. What a race he had. Now, what a race Scott Wheeler is going to have to run without his teammate, the teammate that was carrying him for most of the way there. And it looks like Scott Zellner just not out in front tonight. Fortunately, it looks like Zellner might have been caught up in that, although it does look like he was not. The two machine down to the bottom ranks of the top 10. It's going to be up to Zellner to get up to his teammate now and make something happen. Morrissey was the aggressor as the teammate, keeping Wheeler out there. All for naught. Very unfortunate for Caleb Morrissey. That one's going to leave a mark. It means more than, of course, leaving a mark on track. That one's going to be remembered all season long. Could have been the one that was taken away for Caleb Morrissey. Well, we do have another super speedway on the schedule here. That one is going to be a hard one to swallow. A tough pill to swallow indeed for Caleb Morrissey and the incredible run he had. And we hope to see him back next week, because that was going to be a hard one to get over for any driver, let alone one with such a great shot at the victory. Daytona, anyone has a shot at the victory. Scott Wheeler leads the way here at Daytona. 11 laps to go will become 10 laps remaining. We still have a bit of time. 1 lap to green for the driver of the 97. We hold on, and it looks like we will get back to the action this time by. It'll be 9 laps of green flag action. I don't believe this will be the last caution the way it's been going. This race can only get extended by so much. It could end in yellow. Last season's opener at Auto Club did end under yellow, and Scott Wheeler came out the winner. So there is still an opportunity for that to happen. However, we're down to the final stretch here. All about waiting until that last lap, because when it comes down to that last lap, people could get a little more intense, could get more aggressive, and it could be over just like that. And it could all come down to a last-second moment. That we will see. Coming down our stripe in just a few seconds, it is the driver of the number 54, right beside the driver of the number 97. The front row going to be set as such. And from there on out, we will head green. Will be for all the way from here on out. We will find out, because I do believe now we are seeing a sea of retirements after having no retirees all race long. Caleb Morrissey is in the interview rooms. How will we get an interview with him as this race is in fact going green? And it looks like we're actually connected to the broadcast booth all race long. However, it was long. Caleb Morrissey, we saw him open for an interview, so how will we get that interview? We are loading in to get one with the driver of the number 6 machine, and that is Morrissey. And Caleb Morrissey ran a hell of a race there, but it looks like it might just be all for naught. How do you feel?
Not so good. I don't feel great at all. I felt like me and Wheeler probably had at least a top 5 locked up together, probably the win, and it got ruined because someone got impatient, and that's just how it is. I got taken out by not even the good Brooks brother.
And it looks like certainly choice words there as Scott Wheeler leading right now, and it looks like with 9 to go, getting back out green, and is out front. What are the chances for the guys out in the 4 horsemen camp right now? Because it looks like we got 3 of which still in, or actually 2 of which still in the track. Austin, a little chat.
Yeah, I feel like Wheeler's chances are great, even if he doesn't really have, a particular teammate partner to work with. Zellner's still in the top 10 around there. I don't know if he took damage or not in that one wreck, so I feel like the team still has a good shot to come out with the win, especially with Wheeler, but he's going to have to really play his cards right. That outside mode, the momentum in general, not just the outside, is just crazy in these cars. It just seems like it's not working, it's not pulling, and all of a sudden it pulls you into turbo, so we'll see how it goes.
That has certainly been a dynamic of momentum. Right now, still in the inside lines, so 9 laps to go becomes 8 laps to go, and we'll have to get back to the show here next time we go racing in 2 weeks' time, Nashville SuperSpeedway. So any chances we're going to see you there, I do believe you're going to be running full time. So how do you feel about going into the remainder of the season from here?
I feel pretty good. I feel like we had a lot of momentum coming in. I don't feel like we're really going to see the bad luck that I had last year. I think we're going to be consistent and try and maintain at least finishing the races on the lead laps. And I think as long as we do that, we're going to be pretty well off in contention and have a good shot to make the playoffs this year. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm really happy. It's unfortunate tonight went the way it did, but like I said, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll get a win here.
And there we have it. Caleb Morrissey looking forward to turning over a new leaf. Caution flag is out once again. Thank you for your time. Dragging right back in there as it looks like our yellow is out once again. Big time incident as we caught the interview there. And we will get a quick look at what just happened. Yellow out once more. Jeff Morash might have been caught up in it. Let's take a quick look and find out what happened as we send it back to the live feed in only a moment's time. As Jeff Morash certainly going to be far astray from what was going on there. Everyone's already yellowed out by that point, and let's take a look once again. Looks like Kendall Kerr going to be involved, and we will take a quick look at that. Going to take a further analysis to what just happened, as it looks like it might have happened just in front of him. Roberto Ramirez is going to slide right into a situation they were not aware of before, and you can see the 21 going to go diving down to the apron there, as guys were already starting to get wrecked. Colton Gardner, and let's take it 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, and see if we can get a more accurate perspective. Gardner going to be in the middle of the pack here, 7 laps to go, and this will lead us to yet another yellow, which will send us perhaps into 5-lap territory. Gardner with Gibbs and Macaris, and that's going to send us to another wreck, as they're able to save it for the most part. Back of the field, it was a wreck, multi-cars, and that will bring out the yellow. Justin Gibbs able to get by. That is your yellow flag with 7 laps remaining. Scott Wither leading the way here. And there we have it. The 97 with 74 laps in, becoming 75, will be your leader with the remainder of the race in the fate of his run. He's been the dominator. He doesn't have a teammate that he's working with directly up front right now. Caleb Morrissey was that man for quite a while, and he was taken out. And now he has quite the dilemma who he works with and when he works with anyone. Because now it's 11:07 on the Eastern Seaboard. These guys wrapping it up slowly but surely. 6 remain. And the race is getting more and more intense. We're going to take a quick Fireball Talks non-stop break since we have just a bit of time here before the race gets back underway, just to make sure our associates are thanked. A great group of guys. We work with a great group of teams, leagues, and whatnot that we have associates with. And if you do enjoy the action, be sure to like and subscribe. It's always greatly appreciated. We will take it. Fireball Talks non-stop in only a moment. We will be right back. Thank you all for your incredible support tonight. One of the all-time races when it comes to viewership on this channel. And we will be right back. Thank you all once again for the support. Let's take it. Fireball Talks nonstop.
This message is brought to you by the rebrand of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This publication may not be reposted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. NASCAR Camping World Ford F-150. NASCAR Xfinity Ford Mustang. NASCAR Cup Series Next-Gen Ford Mustang. Arca Menards. This has been the publication of the redesign and rebranding of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This message may not be reposted, republicated, or rebroadcasted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. Thank you, and thanks for your time.
Associates for these advertisements. We are going to send it back to the live feed once again, live on FTN. This is the Services and Supply 200, the season opener here in the Highline Racing League, ASC Services Supply Premier Series Season 15, and we are going to send it into a 4-lap dash to get this victory. Anyone has a shot here, and it could all come down to who is there at the end, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. Anyone here has a great shot, and we will see who's able to take that shot, as it's now Chance Duckworth on the outside of Scott Wheeler Jr. A total of, now, it looks like 10 miles remaining. We've made the first 190. Now it's going to come down to those final 10 of the green flag action to get this victory. One green, white checkered allowed. Use it up. It's game over. And the caution will determine the first winner of the season. It's possible, not probable, the way these guys have been racing, but it looks like now the third stage, it's got a bit more intense, a bit more aggressive, and it looks like Austin Bloom showing his support for the guys of Wheeler and Zellner. Those two having a great shot right now, and this would be it. 5 laps for Dalton Beer as well. Fan favorites, they're getting hyped up. If your favorite driver's in this one, be sure to let us know in the chat room, and we will go green again. Scott Wheeler leads the remainder of the field down. 4 laps to go to get the victory. This could be it. And Wheeler gets a nice start there. Nobody else with him. Chance Duckworth right behind him in the second spot. James McKee there as well. Casey Heschel right there, and it's going to be first, second, third with the 28 and the 49 and third, with now James McKee going to be able to take that final spot on the podium and right back. 54-23. The Brooks going to be running quite well, as it looks like the Swamp getting up into the mix as well. Swamp Motorsports getting there. Toby Wedgwood going to be in the mix as well. 4 laps to go. Duckworth blocks high, and now double file once again. The 28 going to be able to get out front for the first time all race long. Was 1 lap down. The first driver put a lap down this season, and now he leads with 4 laps to go. It's getting intense, and we can look at the back of the field. It looks like about a total of about 23 drivers in the lead lap right now, and these guys, well, they all have a chance, and it could come down to any one of them. As you can see, coming down to the stripe once more. It's going to be now 3 laps to go. Scott Wheeler in the remainder of the field. Scott Wheeler trying to go back to back, not only when it comes to season openers, when it comes to championships. Wins this one, a great opportunity, as it looks like we have a wreck in the back, and it looks like it is going to be a huge one. Overtime number 1, we won't lose it. Yellow flag, it is out. And a huge one. Dalton Beer gets by. And a lot of guys, well, they don't. Let's take a look at what happened. Another big one here at Daytona to send us into our one and only green, white, checkered extension. And it looks like Stagner going to get a bit of a push, but Wedgwood comes down on Stagner. And nothing they can do. They're hooked to each other by that point. Wedgwood there. And it looks like my car is going to get into a second incident. Scott Zellner gets hit. And Zellner miracles to make it past the last wreck. I don't know if that's going to work out. Dylan Clark, Jason Harris, Matthew Rodriguez. Puma gets sent up with Roberto Ramirez. Beer might have gotten a little bit of damage there, as this is a huge one. And a lot of guys able to get out of it. A lot of guys who do not. Tyler Rush gets involved. Dylan Petit goes way high. And it looks like Dalton Beer, one of the few guys to get around that. And we will try to get it on board with the driver to 38. By fan request, it looks like these guys are big fans of the man in that number 38. And let's take a look at exactly what he saw in the cockpit. Here's after. And now let's take it and see a bit before. This is the entire run-up. Let's take a look. On board with Dalton Beer in the 38. At 38, Machina pushing as hard as he could. Now, here's where the wreck happens. Backs it down, gets to the apron. Does tap Rodriguez, but otherwise gets a hit from Zellner, so I'm not sure. Might be a bit worse than what I thought it was. But Dalton Beer gets out better than the good majority of the guys involved in that incident. And Dalton Beer might just have a shot. The 38 going to be able to get out with less damage than the majority. Scott Wheeler leading them home once again. 3 laps to do it here at Daytona. And we will send them 2 to green this time by. This is what it all comes down to. Drivers pushing to the limit, as it will be a green, white checker to finish this race off. So a bit past the first 200, and it could be up to 210 to determine the race winner in tonight's event. 37 concurrent viewers watching live. If you enjoy the action, any of you, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's always greatly appreciated. This race has been incredible, and we wouldn't be here without you, the viewers, the fans. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be here broadcasting week after week. So if you enjoy it, we hope you support us. We'd love to support you with these incredible races that we have the pleasure of broadcasting. And Scott Wheeler, what a driver. A pleasure to watch. He has been up there all race long. A green, white checkered. And it might not be the way he wants to finish this one off. But if he wins, it's a win nonetheless. And he might be able to take it home as the victor. Wheeler out in front. And certainly has the edge over the majority of the field. Right behind him, Chance Duckworth, James McKee there, Kenny Brooks in the mix, Casey Heschel is in a fifth, and one of the longest races of the season, start off the season, Wheeler, one of the guys who knows he has to hold on to get this victory. The remainder of the field there with Duckworth in second, James McKee in third, Kenny Brooks in fourth, Casey Heschel in a fifth, and Ryan Potter is in position number 6 with Terry Brooks in seventh and Connor Holden in eighth. A sea of debutants. Holden being one of those guys who is a debutant up front. Ryan Potter there as well as the yellow flag still being held by the official, the flag man, right in front of the field. And it will not wave just yet, as it's now 1 lap to green, the final 2 laps of this race no matter what. One green-white checkered attempt, and that will be all she wrote. You don't get to the end from here, well, you're going to get to one under yellow, under green, no matter what happens. It will happen here and happen now. And Scott Wheeler might just be the last hope for the 4 horsemen. It looks like Wheeler indeed will be. Shelly Bagencheck saying go Wheeler at this point, because it looks like Zellner might not be in the cards. However, he's still down there in 21st. It's not done, but he's certainly not in the greatest position. And Wheeler looks to be the house favorite when it comes to the 4 horsemen. Maybe the race overall. He's just been that good. And he might be able to continue that level of success here tonight. The most successful driver in this series, it is Scott Zellner, but it looks like his teammate has been able to follow in his footsteps. Caleb Morrissey back on track for the first time in quite a while. While his winning chances are over, he's still there to make an impact and might be able to help some of his teammates if things get real tough and things get real lucky. The 97 out in front. He's got Chance Duckworth, who's taking a chance on his strategy and put himself up there for a reason. It is now a total of 3 to go. And the only green-white checkered of this event is here, and it is now. Unbelievable circumstances lead us to it. 83 laps. A total of 207.5 miles to send us into the finale of this event. The season opener, and Scott Wheeler's there with Duckworth. Green flag, it goes out this time by. Let's get back to the action. Green's out, 2 laps to go, and Wheeler gets an amazing start. And the 97 now leading over the 9. This could be it. A great start, and he's got James McKee right behind him. And now top 3 guys able to pull away. Casey Heschel there in the mix. Terry Brooks in 4th. And the top 4 are now running with it. It looks like it's about a 10-car back for the lead. Wheeler, one of those guys, and he's able to hold on as he's leading still with 2 to go down the back. And it looks like going up high. Terry Brooks is going to go. Not going to be able to make it stick that time by. Wheeler goes up high on the block. The 23, he is there. And it might be able to make something happen. Coming down the stripe this time by. They're beating and they're banging. And they will come to 1 lap to go. Here at Daytona, this will be not it. Caution's out. This race ends under yellow. And it looks like James McKee will not win it. Scott Wheeler gets it in front. Final incident on the night. And we take a 38-second instant replay. Dalton Beer going to lose a lot of speed there. Gets back out. And it looks like that could have been it. That could have been the yellow there. I'm not sure. No, it was not. There was a multi-car incident. Ramirez goes around. Dalton Beer, Jason Harris, and that will be it. James McKee now there with Wheeler. And I do believe the way it's rolling, James McKee looks to be able to go back-to-back on the super speedways. And coming down to that scoring loop, it was very close. And they debated it. And it looks like the 9 machine will get the win. That's for SCB Designs. A new look, a new touch to the 9 Chevy Camaro. And for James McKee, it might have made all the difference. Coming down to the line for the Services and Supply 200, winning under yellow, it's James McKee winning the season opener in the Highline Racing League's 15th season. And what a way to start McKee for Blacktop Racing gets over to the Dominator of Scott Wheeler. What a performance. And McKee, right place, right time. And he gets it done. And before he burns it down, we will get your race results on screen in just a moment, just to make sure we speed things up here. A bit late for some of these guys who are watching, we know that. So if you do have work, you do have anything else to work on later on tomorrow, it looks like McKee gets it done. And how about that? Casey Eschel comes home in third, Brooks in fourth, and Corey Blevins in fifth. And Wheeler, oh so close. No cigar tonight, as he finishes second by 0.2 of a second. James McKee, your winner. Casey Eschel in third. Terry Brooks in fourth. Corey Blevins fifth. Chance Duckworth P6, your hard charger. And Connor Holden P7. Ryan Potter 8th. Justin Gibbs 9th. Brad Crescent 10th. And Kendall Curran 11th. With Dylan Petit in 12th. And Tyler Rush in 13th. Kenny Brooks in 14th. Matthew Rodriguez 15th. Then DJ Stagner, Ty Smith, Colton Gardner, Andrew Baker, Jason Harris in the top 20. Then it's going to be Dalton Beer, Scott Zellner, Adam Bozzi, Alan Kuhlman, Roberto Ramirez, Jeff Morash, Toby Wedgwood. These are retirees by this point. Scott McCarrs, Chad Winstead, Caleb Morrissey, Dylan Clark, Robert F. Kenny, Austin Bloom, and finally, Dylan Body, as McKee, your race winner, burns down the house. And what a win for him. Able to get it done at the right time, and nothing he can do. Caution was way behind him. He just timed it right and got it done over Wheeler, your defending champion. What a way to start it. And burning it down on the front stretch at Daytona. Any driver wants to, no matter when and no matter why. And tonight, McKee has the chance. What a way to win it here at Daytona. Nobody on his level, and he has despawned. But that is a race to remember for the man in the number 9 machine of James McKee, able to get it done in style and come home the race winner. So how about that? Let's get an review in from your race winner. Position number 1 at the line for James McKee, and the number 9 machine able to come home on top. And we're going to drag him in slowly but surely, making his way up to the booth. And the 9 machine getting it done under yellow, extending this finish all the way. And you come home the first winner of the season. How do you feel? And Jason McKee looking for a copy. Number 9 machine, how do you feel after your victory? And one more time, looking for a copy. Looks like James McKee not with us here. How do you feel? Looks like we might be able to come back to him later on as the event goes on. Thank you for your time. We hope to get you back later on as we wait and get our third place driver first instead. It looks like we'll be doing it in a reverse order. Misfit Mafia and the number 49 machine of Casey Eschel coming home in position number 3. And third spot, rounding at the podium tonight, Casey Eschel. How do you feel? Third place on the night, getting it into the podium as the race goes as far as it could go. And it looks like a long run, able to come home in a pretty good spot. How do you feel?
Not too bad. You know, I caused a pretty much entire car field wreck there at the 45, 50 lap mark. So that kind of sucked. But other than that, it was a lot of fun. Bringing it home third there. Wish we could have gotten to the line and raced it to the checkered. But I messaged Jimmy there under yellow and was like, hey, I'm going with you wherever you go, and stuck with him and was able to push him out to the lead there at the last second.
And absolutely able to get him out there at the last second. It was clutch timing for the driver to 9 and, of course, for yourself. So how was it managing that restart, of course, the one and only, and getting yourself up into that spot and getting yourself not the victory, but getting yourself on the podium?
It was tough. I knew Scott up in the lead was going to be tough to pass, but with Chance and the 54, I think both were on top of there. I knew that the 9 and 49 could clear him. And from there, it was just going to be a battle between Scott, Jimmy, and me.
Absolutely looked to be a 3-man battle at that tail end, able to come out on the podium, of course. So this was quite a long race, able to go a bit further than the 200 miles advertised. And the next time we go racing is in 2 weeks' time, Nashville Superspeedway. How do you feel going to that one?
Oh, I feel great. I think those mile, mile and a half tracks, short tracks, whatever. If it's not a super speedway, it kind of fits in my wheelhouse. So hopefully there's a lot of tire wear, and I think you'll see the 49 up towards the front, if not in victory lane.
And there we have it. Casey Heschel, a lot of confidence after a great run tonight here at Daytona. Third position for the driver of the 49. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'm right back into his voice chat there, and I'm going to get Scott Wheeler in the second spot. Wheeler, 97 machine, runner-up of the night. How do you feel?
Feel pretty good. Obviously, a win would have been nice there, but that's plate racing. Props to Jimmy. That was the perfect move, and there's not much you can do there.
And certainly a tight situation, but all 83 laps of this event, you were up front the whole way. So how was it managing that strategy and keeping yourself in winning contention?
I couldn't have done it without my teammate Caleb. I mean, we had the strategy down to a T. We found out we could work really well together in the duels last week and just did it again. So without Caleb there, I mean, it's not possible. I would have been shuffled back at some point, I'm sure, but he was calling the shots. He's a great pusher all night, and that's what kept us in it.
And certainly great teamwork there, but able to keep yourself up front without him. And I know that must have been much harder with no set teammate to work with yourself there. But either way, able to manage that final restart. And how was it coming to the stripe and taking that final lap in?
Yeah, you always want to finish these races green. Obviously, when you're in the lead, you kind of want to have some other misfortune that benefits you there. But I was able to get in touch with Jimmy and try to work something out as far as restarts goes, and he was there. But the side draft was just all night really tough. So even with the launch and him knowing when I was going, you couldn't really get a lot. So the final restart was just get ahead, try to block a lane, and then ultimately try to get back to the front if I got past.
Absolutely able to keep yourself up front, even if you did get past to the tail end of it. Now, next time we go racing, 2 weeks' time, Nashville SuperSpeedway. So how do you feel going to that?
I feel pretty good. These cars, I really like racing these cars at some bigger tracks. They fit my style of driving, I think, personally. So I haven't raced there with these, so it'll be a little bit of a challenge and a different kind of setup and feeling, but we'll keep moving on and try to defend the title from last season.
And how about that? Scott Wheeler off to a great start for his title defense, second on the night. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Just want to thank my teammates, Austin, Scott, Caleb. Caleb, once again, great pushing all night, buddy. Couldn't do it without you. Everybody that watches, you guys for joining us again for another season. You were great last season, and I'm really pumped to see the product here. All these guys in the league as well. We couldn't do it without Kendall and Toby pulling the strings from the back. So,
absolutely. Scott Wheeler, second on the night. Thank you once more.
Thanks, guys.
Dragging right back in, and it looks like the driver of the 9 machine able to come home as the winner, back-to-back Super Speedway winner. And it looks like you said it already, Daytona treated you nice, so how did you make it happen?
First of all, sorry, my mic was not working the whole entire race, which was very annoying. So that's why I didn't respond to you. But can you hear me now? Okay, good.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, good. But holy cow. Yeah, the last who knows how many Daytona races I've been up in the top 5 or so and plenty of chances to win. And then the last lap happens and then chaos ensues. And then I just fall way back. But finally, thank goodness for Casey with a heck of a push behind me. I thought I had a whole lot of damage from the wreck that happened right in front of us, but we were able to, keep it, I can't really talk right now, but we were able to keep it going without having to pit and whatnot. And so I had some speed. So big shout out to Casey Heschel for giving me a push and clean racing with Scott Wheeler. It was a lot of fun. I'm finally happy to get one.
Certainly a lot of impressive racing up in the front of the field, and you were able to keep it up front all race long. A lot of strategy between teammates, but at the end of the day, it became you and a battle against many other drivers, just not affiliated with one another. So how was it keeping yourself out of trouble and keeping yourself in the chance for victory?
It was hard. I felt like once we got 10 laps into a run, like our cars were jumping all over the place, come out of turns, and we were all about to wreck. We had everybody checked up really hard, so we were getting ready to hit each other. And I don't know, there should have been a lot more wrecks than what what it looked like, because the way we were checking up and the way we could just suck right into the back of another car, it was getting sketchy, but we were able to keep it together and run a really good race and be in the right place at the right times.
And absolutely a great race for the 9 front. Now, next time we go racing will not be next week, of course, but either way, it will be Nashville SuperSpeedway. So how do you feel going to there?
I'm glad I got a win this week because I really hate that track. So never really run well there. Can't save my tires to save my life. So, but who knows, maybe something will change and we'll have a heck of a setup that won't wear my tires out so bad and we can be competitive.
We have it. Driver of the 9 machine, able to get it done in the first position, able to start this season, well, the 15th season of the Highline Racing League. Jimmy McKee coming home on the top spot. Thank you for your time. Any final thoughts?
Appreciate you, the broadcasts. They're always good. Shout out to Dylan Body making me a brand new paint scheme for this season. It always looks good. SP Designs, Body Shop, everything he puts on here. And Got Milk, so go drink your milk. But other than that, appreciate y'all and then my team, Blacktop Racing.
And there we have it. For Blacktop Racing, able to get it done. Thank you once more.
Appreciate you.
There you have it. Get to drag him right back into his voice chat there. Keep him on the move because what a finish that was and what a race. And that, I believe, is going to be it. Unfortunately, Dalton Beer not appearing to be available for an interview tonight. Not with the 4 Horsemen right now in chat. So not going to be able to get a talk with him. But either way, able to get it done. Team Machine comes out on top. Next time we go racing in the Highline Racing League will be in 2 weeks' time. We hope to see you all there because it will be an incredible show as well. Tonight, the 9 just comes out on top and proves what it takes to get it done as a winner. So we got to thank you all for stopping by in tonight's event. An incredible viewership tonight. So if you did enjoy, once again, be sure to like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss any stream we have. Next time we'll be live this Saturday night, and we hope to have you there as well. For the broadcast brew, Fireball Talks NASCAR Live. Got to thank you all for watching the Highline Racing League ASC Premier Series, the Services and Supply 200. I hope to see you all whenever we are live once again. We hope you have a great night.